327 main breaks have been affected, and 120 of those still need to be repaired. Now, crews are fixing about 25 a day, but if you're left with no water, you could be left without it for 8 more days. As you can see right behind me, this used to be a former Chase Bank that is now being transformed into mixed development and will include office spaces, restaurants, and even retail shops. It's just piles of trees lined up just waiting to be picked up, and right behind me is what is left of a home. Now this side here has been destroyed, but on the other side it looks like some of these homes are just still intact. When it comes to the SAT and ACT, SMU will remain test optional for students who are not just applying for admission, but scholarships as well. What was once a portion of South Lamar Street has been renamed to Botham Jean Boulevard. The new street name is a way to honor Jean, who was killed in his own apartment by a Dallas officer. Texas is back in business. As the state mandates and capacity limits are lifted, there's a new normal for the Lone Star State, and many people are taking the opportunity to choose how they run their business.
Being the fact that we've been kind of battling this for a year, we just thought it was the right time to go 100% as far as, we can still keep the protocols in place to keep people safe, but still operate at 100%.
However, some businesses are still staying cautious as they continue to open their doors.
You can't just flip a switch and you're ready to rock and roll. So we wanted to still take care of people at a great level of service, and that's why we decided not to go full 100%.
But one thing these businesses have in common is keeping their staff and customers safe.
We're doing temperature checks at the door. We have hand sanitizer available anytime you want to get up and order at the bar, use the restroom. We ask that our patrons put on their mask.
We're still spending the money on taking our own temperatures, and we're also using gloves and wearing masks as employees.
Businesses are finding a sense of hope now that they have the option to operate at 100%.
We've been kind of battling financially, struggling for a year, so there's definitely time for us to try to take advantage of being able to operate fully.
Since Texas lifted its restrictions, businesses are creating more job opportunities.
Yeah, we've added to our team since we're having more influx of business, so it's created a couple more jobs, which is good.
For SMU-TV, I'm Haley Mnick.
I've noticed some really crazy traffic. I don't know if it's because of the COVID vaccine or if it's just everybody trying to get places, but it has been pretty insane.
It has gotten worse recently as more people kind of head back to work and back into the office.
I was on 75 and it was just almost like standstill traffic and people getting really angry and trying to get in front of you and cut you off, and it was just making me really nervous. You see car accidents on 75 all the time and crazy loud noises and sirens.
There's so many roads, and there's a lot of places where the traffic suddenly all has to merge, or something's merging in and then everyone has to leave to get off at the same exit.
For SMU-TV, I'm Haley Mnick. The fashion industry is the second biggest polluter in the world. Many people are choosing to purchase used clothes as a way to help reduce carbon footprint.
I love the selection and certainly the value. So the thought to me in a manner of being green as well as the value in it is to repurchase.
Consumers are even taking their clothes to resale stores instead of throwing them away. In fact, people don't realize that 95% of the clothes that get discarded can either be recycled or upcycled.
The really important environmental impact is that 64% of clothes actually wind up in landfills, and so you can do your part in making the environment a better place by shopping local, by shopping thrift stores or resale shops that will help improve the environment and reduce the waste.
Even though resale stores try to do their part in reducing carbon footprint, it's also up to the consumer to help make an environmental impact as well.
this generation coming up is much more educated on it and also open to the thrifting concept. So I think that next generation coming up is going to be much more responsible and be utilizing the resale and thrift environment.
For SMU-TV, I'm Haley Mnick.
The U.S. News and World Report just released their ranks for best colleges in the nation for 2021, and SMU made those ranks. In fact, SMU made it in the top 20% for best national university. Undocumented teenage boys between the ages of 13 to 17 are staying right here at the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in downtown Dallas. Police received a call that there was a man in the area believed to be armed. Once police made contact with the man, he fled, running across I-635. Many students are finding it difficult to look for parking, even when they come to campus hours before their classes. And the reason? SMU officials are selling more permits than there are spaces. Hey Mustangs, welcome to this Tuesday edition of the Daily Update. I'm Haley Mnick. Let's get to the news. This week marks the one-year anniversary of the COVID pandemic. Coming up, how SMU will commemorate the losses. That story tops today's Mustang Minute. SMU invites students to remember those who lost their lives to COVID this Thursday at noon. The moment of silence will last 4 minutes and 58 seconds to reflect on how the pandemic has affected your lives, communities, and the world. 3 minutes later, a song of hope will be played to remind us there's a song in every silence. Members of the U.S. House are conducting a final vote on President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan. If the bill is passed, Biden is expected to sign it just days before unemployment benefits expire. The relief plan includes up to $1,400 in stimulus money for many Americans and billions of dollars for states, schools, vaccine distributions, and more. The House is expected to pass this nearly $2 trillion package this week. Fully vaccinated people can finally interact with each other without wearing masks. The CDC announced Monday that a person's vaccination process is complete 2 weeks after their second shot of Pfizer or Moderna's vaccine. However, the CDC still discourages non-essential travel and encourages those vaccinated to keep wearing masks in public. Fortunately, in the last month, cases have decreased more than 50% around the nation. Many states, including Texas, have lifted their mask mandates. SMU women's basketball coach is not getting a new contract. Athletic director Rick Hart says Coach Travis Mays helped the team make progress, but their record has remained unsuccessful, so he is not getting renewed. SMU Athletics will launch a new national search for a new coach. And that's your Mustang Minute. Natural gas leak at the construction site on SMU's campus caused Westcott Field to be evacuated and several areas near the southwest corner of the Binkley parking garage to be closed off. It happened around 2 Tuesday afternoon and took just a little over an hour to cap the leak. During that time, several residential commons, including Morrison McGinnis, Cockrell McIntosh, and McIlvaney, were blocked off, along with traffic in the area. But just after 3 p.m., SMU-TV learned that the leak has been capped and repairs are underway. The first confirmed case of the coronavirus is now in Texas. The patient who was evacuated from China last week is now being treated at a San Antonio hospital. So far, the virus has killed more than 1,100 people and infected nearly 60,000 others. Thousands gathered at the Staples Center Monday morning to honor Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and the 7 others who were killed in the helicopter crash last month. Bryant's wife Vanessa announced the date of the memorial as 2/24/20, symbolizing the numbers that her daughter and husband wore, 2 and 24. And the number of years Kobe played for the Lakers, 20. Since the crash, the NBA has honored the victims both at the NBA All-Star Game and the Lakers' first home game after the tragedy. Gianna's school has also retired her basketball number and held a memorial at the school. Now that Texas residents ages 50 to 64 years old can get a COVID vaccine, supplies are running out. More than 900,000 people have registered to get on Dallas's COVID vaccine waitlist. Just on Monday alone, one of the state's largest vaccine hubs, Fair Park, vaccinated 1,100 people. Officials are urging the state to give them more vaccines due to such a high demand. Cowboys fans will be glad to hear that the team has secured Dak Prescott for the long term. After 2 years of negotiations, the two-time Pro Bowl quarterback has officially agreed to a new contract. The total value of the deal could hit upwards of $164 million. Dak said last July that he believed he could be a Cowboy for the rest of his career. It took a while for it to happen, but the deal is finally done. Well, that's all we have for you today, Mustangs. Remember, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/SMU-television and follow us on Twitter at SMU-TV. If you have any story ideas, shoot us an email, smutv@smu.edu. Thanks for watching this Tuesday edition of the Daily Update. Tune in Wednesday for our political news from the Hilltop as we launch the first installment of the semester of Real Talk with Martha Mills. Until then, have a great day and pony up.